Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. The SEGA Saturn core has been updated in the form of a test build, and you can grab this right now from the MiSTerFPGA Discord server. Now the biggest thing in this, it now has keyboard support. Yes, that's right guys, I am playing Virtua Fighter on a keyboard, and that's why I'm playing a lot worse than I even usually do. But there are some keyboard warriors out there. In fact, when I used to play Fightcade, there were some people that never had an arcade stick, and they liked fighting games so much that they took it upon themselves to learn Street Fighter on a damn keyboard, and they would still kick my butt. Absolutely fascinating. It's love seeing this stuff here. So a massive shout out to the developer known as Konger. That's K-C-O-N-G-E-R. They are the person behind this update, and it's really cool. So I connected a keyboard via USB, one of those Logitech multimedia ones, and I began typing. Well, I'll show you the typing in a second, but I started playing games with it really badly. But I just love that we have the choice and we get these updates for the MiSTerFPGA, the gift that just keeps on giving. So when you go check this core out over on the MiSTerFPGA Discord server, where you can grab a compiled version of this core, the developer Konger leaves some little tips there for us. So one of them is this here. This is Game Basic, and it gives us like a, I don't know, whatever to call this, like a little splash screen where we can type. Reminds me of a Commodore 64, one of those computers out there from yesteryear. But anyway, I just wanted to type that you can now type on the SEGA Saturn. I was testing out the keyboard. Now, there are a number of games. There's actually quite a lot of games that are supported. I'll go over some of them. You guys can check them out for yourself as well. But I did test 3 games out in this video. One of them was Virtua Fighter. Let's have a look at the next one. Dowdle, a favorite game of many. And guys, you're going to see that flicker there, and I'll explain why that is. But before that, let's have a look at input. So you can see I've gone to input and I've gone to keyboard. If you run this for yourself, if you change it to keyboard, it's not going to work straight away. Reboot, restart the game. You need to have keyboard set before you launch a game. I kind of learned that the hard way because initially I thought it wasn't working. So sorry, if you're going to get any flicker in here, especially when I look at a menu, it's because I am upscaling my MiSTer to 4K using a PixelFX Morph4K. And what happens is when it changes resolution, it gives a little flicker when it adjusts it very quickly. Like for example, when it goes to the menu and then it goes back into direct video when I'm actually running the course. So here I am, I'm actually playing this on the keyboard. So the keys actually default to the escape button being star, and then we've got Z, X and C, which are A, B and C, and I didn't really try any 6-button games, so I was using those. And obviously the up, down, left, right arrows let you move up, down, left and right. Now I was playing this on a Logitech Media Center keyboard, so not a full keyboard, but that's no excuse. Even if I played on a full keyboard, my movement would not be that good. But this is fascinating. It's well worth trying. I know some people really like playing stuff on a keyboard. That's why I guess we get the hitboxes, right? Because I feel like those hitboxes, or what people call leverless arcade controllers, I hate it when they call it a leverless arcade stick because there's no stick in there, right? A leverless controller, a hitbox, kind of like the term hitbox. So a lot of people use those that actually played a lot of games on keyboard. And honestly, when I was playing Fightcade, there's a lot of people that used to play on keyboard and they would bust out those combos. And yeah, it's just really cool, man. You can play Dowdle on a freaking keyboard if you want. So this is a game that's easily played on a keyboard. It doesn't matter whether you're good on keyboard or not, because essentially you only need to move it left and right using the left and right arrow, and you only need one button. So I think I was pressing Z and it was firing it. I know I played this really badly, but guys, I am colorblind, so I kind of have to look at the shapes, right? But hey, let me tell you some of the games that actually have compatibility for the SEGA Saturn. Now, we don't have something like Typing of the Dead. Typing of the Dead is freaking awesome. Absolutely love it. I actually played it recently, and I think I need to play it more to improve my typing, because I'm one of those guys that looks at the keyboard when I'm typing. I wasn't actually looking at the keyboard when I was playing Bust a Move over here because I didn't have to use the entire keyboard to do it. But there was a keyboard available for the SEGA Saturn. Really interesting because there's a link. I'll put it in the description. This is what the developer shared as well. The developer that's tweaked SRG 320's core. Just want to kind of point that out because it's not their core essentially, but the MiSTerFPGA project is an open source project and people always contribute and adjust and tweak stuff. So they've tweaked that core and they've kind of shared links on a on Sega Extreme .net, where I'm looking at a Sega keyboard, and so it's really cool, and it's got a list of games that are supported. So there are actually like 77 games that are supported. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but obviously Dodonpachi was one of them here. You've got stuff like Cold Case. Astal is another one that's supported by a keyboard. You've got Alien Trilogy. That's not, I don't think it's mouse and keyboard, so I don't think you can have a combo and play it like a modern PC game, but you can control your stealth via a keyboard, which I think is a good option to have. Something like Final Fight Revenge. I should have tried that to see if I could do a fireball, but I was actually looking for a Street Fighter game, but I couldn't find one that worked straight out. Metal Slug Super Vehicle 001, even Myst is a PC game. I guess that will make more sense on like a keyboard. Race Driving, Sega Rally you can play with a keyboard if you want. Again, 77 games, and I've just hand-picked a few games. Virtua Fighter, which we looked at the beginning, stuff like Worms, and then for the next part it says games that support keyboard input only after loading the level, that is passing start and other keys on the gamepad when loading game and after loading it and kind of using a controller. So what actually happened with this here, with this Bust the Move game, when I started it with a keyboard and I had my second input set as mouse, it was telling me please use a compatible controller, and I was like, okay, so it wouldn't let me start with just the keyboard. At least I couldn't. Maybe that was my mistake on some part, but what I did was I then set the player 2 to a normal digital pad, and then it kind of recognized that a pad was plugged in, but then I didn't need the pad at all. I went through the menus and I started the game with the keyboard and everything. So this is quite fun. The SEGA Saturn from SRG 320 himself, the last time it received an unstable update was actually last year, the 29th of December 2025. I don't know these dates off by heart. I just did a SEGA Saturn live stream earlier, so I ran the latest unstable core, which was the 29th of December last year. So we haven't received an update from him, but it's nice to see other people contributing, adding stuff to it. The SEGA Saturn has light gun support. It has mouse support, mouse that you can actually use to play light gun games like Virtua Cop. Absolutely fantastic. So, you know, we've got a very, very good core. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite cores on the MiSTerFPGA, and all these little changes, all these little improvements really add to the experience. So a massive, massive thank you out to Conga. Absolutely love your work. Thank you for doing this. I'm not going to use it. I'm never going to use it. But hey, I like reporting on this stuff. And I'm more interested, if you're a keyboard player, what does this mean for you? Were you one of those people that actually had a keyboard for the Saturn and actually played games using that keyboard, and that was your way? And has this brought a tear to your eye because you're getting nostalgic, you are getting emotional? Anyway, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to stay up to date with all things FPGA gaming, especially MiSTer, then why not subscribe to that channel? Pressing that like button, turning on those notifications really, really does help. Anyway, be super duper awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.